Hello, universe. Today I'm going to take you through my simple morning routine for a successful day. I will also share a few tips that make sticking to and completing your routine much easier to do. I use an app called Routinery to take me through the different steps and time them for me so I don't lose my focus. My first step is to make some coffee or tea and take about 15 minutes to drink them up. This simple task allows me to wake my body up gently, but even more importantly, it helps me get the routine started. It's always hardest to make those first few steps when building any habit, which makes it that much more important to start with simple and enjoyable tasks first. With my drink ready, I usually crawl right back into bed and do anything that I'd like to do before the timer runs out. An important mindset I keep here is to just take things one step at a time. I build my willpower with each task up until the hardest ones at the end, so I try not to think about them when I have just woken up. You're always in a different headspace a little later in the morning, and that makes things easier. Now, once the timer has ran out, I take about a minute to set the mood with some music. On most days, I reach for a Spotify morning playlist or a podcast like In Hindsight by the incredibly calming Mr. Hines, and usually that's what it takes to get me out of bed and going, but sometimes I will also lay around a little longer. There is no shame in that. The next step is to get some water and get hydrated, which is another easy step to ace and get a little more motivated, and after that I have to take my vitamins. I'm building my willpower up with each step, making things a little harder as I go. This is how you create a little bit of momentum even on your worst days. The next step is skincare. Very important. You could take this as simple or as elaborate as you feel that you can, but essentially this should consist of cleansing your face and using moisturizer with any extra steps that you like to take scattered along the way. What I like to do is take everything out on the sink, tie my hair up, and start washing my face with my salicylic acid soap. Personally, this helps a lot with keeping the blackheads at bay. Then I pat my face dry and do some more deep cleaning with a few drops of tea tree oil, almond oil, and some water. I'm not an expert, this has just helped me with my acne issues quite well. After that, I use toner all over my face, and that feels really refreshing. Currently, my final step is to apply some moisturizer as well, but I know that things like sunscreen are also highly recommended. For now, I'm keeping it simple. Skincare usually should take about 10 minutes for me, and when I'm done, I go to brush my teeth. For that, I use some dental taps to try and save on some plastic, but they are also better at not making a mess in general. To use them, you just crush them with your teeth and wet your toothbrush before starting to brush. At this point, I'm feeling decently awake. The music keeps my spirits high, and the timer on the app is keeping me focused. I'm ready to take the next step, which is to get dressed and put on some makeup if I feel like it. Usually I'll have some clothes left out from the night before. It's actually part of my night routine on the same app as well. You can build as many routines as you like and add any habits and timers that fit well into your schedule. If at any point you need a minute, you can also pause the app, or you can move a habit to the end of the routine. You can also skip things altogether if today is not a good day for them. We're on my second to last step now, which is the hardest one, yoga. This is the one that I'm usually building up my willpower for. It's the one that I don't want to do when I'm still lying in bed in the morning, but I'm kind of ready for when I'm finally in my clothes. This is why I recommend sorting your morning habits by difficulty. This, combined with the app keeping track of things and taking it one step at a time, is what finally got me to have a successful morning routine in the first place. But there's also one more unexpected mindset that helped me. You can do your morning routine at any point in the day. That's right, feeling like you have to do this right after waking up or not at all is a very restrictive mindset. You can run off to a 7 a.m. lecture, come back home and do this, and it will still have an amazing effect on your day. You can bring your kids to school and do this, and you will still feel focused and ready afterwards. In fact, I've done this morning routine in the evening after a hectic day, and I ended the day feeling grounded and proud because this is a motivating, grounding practice for self-care and not just some kind of morning checklist. This has been my most successful mindset so far. And with this, we are at the final step, which is planning the day. I give myself about 20 minutes to brainstorm the tasks that need to be done in the day, and then I take my laptop and block them off in my Google Calendar. My blocks are usually pretty vague and flexible, but they allow me to have a great overview of where I spend my time, and they also help me remember important meetings that I shouldn't miss because other people are there. I also write things down in a little more detail in my to-do list app, To Do, and I check off the habits that I've already done for the day. Once that's done, I tidy up a little and usually start working on the hardest task first. Completing my morning routine in the app also gives me a little bit of a boost of pride and motivation, which is always helpful. Even on a day off, it will make me feel centered, accomplished, and happy, and like I took care of myself. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I wish you lots of luck for your morning routines to come. See you soon.